Well, apparently Britain is in a total mess. According to Politico, that's what the new Labour government wants to hammer home as it makes the case for the tough decisions it says are needed to correct the course of the ship of state. So according to that, the Labour Party is going to make some tough decisions, and he's going to ban smoking outside pubs. That's really going to help the UK economy, isn't it? I'm Granniopteryx. I'm on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute and Minds. What I think we all are starting to realise, most of us already realised it before, is that the Labour Party isn't about making things right, it's about establishing control over every little bit of British life. Look, the reaction of the Labour Party to the surge of public discontent, which definitely resulted in some destructive and illegal behaviour, I'm not denying that, but their immediate reaction to the public reaction to the murder of children in a small working class town was a clampdown. It wasn't understanding, it wasn't sympathy, it was none of those things. When Starmer went to lay a wreath or something at the town, he walked in, he didn't engage with the people there because he knew he had nothing to say to them, and he left really quickly. And he was sour about it the whole time. And when somebody shouted at him about migrants, he couldn't answer. Because that's what it was all about, and he didn't try and engage on that. No, you will do as I tell you. And this is good for you because I say so. That's basically what they were saying. And now they're doing the same. It's the same attitude that they had in that situation that they have now. Keir Starmer has not ruled out the idea of smoking being banned in some outdoor spaces, including pub gardens and outside restaurants, as ministers consider fresh tobacco curbs that hospitality groups say could adversely affect the sector. Of course it's going to adversely affect the sector. People stand outside pubs smoking because they want to smoke. And if they can't, they won't go to the pubs again. Now, the interesting thing about pubs is that they are places where people congregate, often from a neighbourhood, because you can't drink and drive. So you often find the local pub is the place where local people get together and they talk. And they converse, they know each other, they exchange ideas. They may be, semi-squiffy ideas. They may not be that logical, who knows, especially when you've had a couple of drinks. But they are places where people relate to each other and exchange ideas. And that's the last thing that the Labour Party wants. What the Labour Party wants is for us all to be either going to Labour Party sponsored entertainments or staying at home, staying safe, staying isolated. And this is all part of that idea. Starmer has given interviews saying, it's a terrible drain on the NHS. What's the NHS for? It's a national health service. There are other people doing other dangerous things. I ride horses. It's terribly dangerous. I could be a drain on the NHS if I make a mistake or some idiot drives his car into my horse, which has happened to a friend of a friend of mine. Of course, these things happen. You do dangerous things. One of my sons rides a motorcycle. As a matter of fact, at one point, he's driving that bike through London, and I said to him, I'm so worried about you riding that bike in London. And he just looked at me and he said, oh yeah, this is coming from a woman who rides horses. I couldn't answer that. But yet people do things. People go rock climbing. People go hiking on the Yorkshire moors in sandals. People do things, and sometimes they're dangerous things. And sometimes they're not that good for their health. What about fried food? What about ultra-processed foods? What about Coca-Cola? When will this stop? No, he's not going to stop people from eating fried foods and drinking Coca-Cola. Because people don't congregate to do that. They do it while they're sitting watching TV at home, watching mainstream media and getting the message from the government being handed down from on high. He wouldn't object to that. Obesity does far more harm to the British public than smoking does, the way smoking is going right now. But yeah. He's going to stop smoking because that's a congregational thing, isn't it? It's something you might do in company. So here in the Mail, full list of places where smoking could be banned under Labour plans. Let's hear. Pub gardens, outside nightclubs, restaurant terraces, outside sports stadiums, children's parks, pavements by universities and hospitals, and shisha bars. All of them places where people congregate. The current plans, which are still being finalised, will see the smoking of fags, and I have to point out to Americans, that means cigarettes here. Banned outside hospital, schools, college and university campuses, sports ground, children's playgrounds. Okay, if you stopped smoking and took to congregating over knitting, they'll go for knitting. It gives you arthritis in your fingers after a while. Terrible drain on the NHS, isn't it? We all have to agree on that. Till next time. You can help my channel by subscribing and clicking the notification bell. That's quite important. And by sharing if you're so inclined. Links to my other channels and to donation methods are in the description. But the best way you can help is simply by clicking like and notify. Thank you.